Hello friends, hope you're doing well. Welcome to the 23rd episode of the SAT ACT series. As we know in the digital format, we are going to be having two modules for each section, math as well as English. And your module 2 will depend upon the performance of your module 1, right? So assuming that you did really well in module 1, your module 2 is going to be a little bit on the tougher side. So let's take some of the tricky questions which you can expect in the digital 2024 SAT. If A is equal to C plus D, this expression x square minus c square minus 2cd minus d square is equivalent to which of the below, correct? So they have given us a condition, and with that condition we have to find what is the equivalent of this expression between these options, right? So obviously the first things which comes to our mind is to expand them and then substitute A is equal to C plus D and see which of these give us this expression, correct? So let's look at them one by one, and we don't even need to go into the details of each of the options, because once we expand them and put A equal to C plus D in each of these, we will get an idea early enough that this is not the option or this is the option, right? So let's see for option A. X plus a whole square is nothing but x square plus a square plus 2ax, correct? Now when we plug in A is equal to C plus D, right, we will have x square plus C plus D whole square plus 2 times C plus D times x, correct? We don't need to expand this now because we can clearly see that this is nowhere close to this. This is completely different from this expression, so this is ruled out, right? Let's go to option B. Again we expand option B. X minus a whole square is nothing but x square plus a square minus 2ax, correct? Again we do the same thing, we plug in a equal to C plus D and see what we get. X square plus C plus D whole square minus 2 times C plus D. Again, this is nowhere close to what we will get, what we are looking for, because essentially we are looking for the negative C square and negative D square at least, and we will not get those things. We will get positive D square, we will get positive C square, so this is also ruled out, right? Let's look at this. X plus a times x minus a, right? It's the difference of the squares. So this is nothing but x square minus a square, correct? What is the value of a? C plus d. So we get x square minus c plus d whole square, correct? And when we expand this, we get x square minus c plus d whole square is like c square plus d square plus 2cd, correct? And when we expand this negative sign, we will get this back. X square minus c square minus d square minus 2cd, which is the expression they were talking about, hence C is the right answer. We don't even need to go back to D because C is the right answer. Again, just to quickly reiterate, this is the expression they have given to us and these are the options, right? First of all, we expanded each one of them like the way we would do, and then plug the value of A equal to C plus D and get a sense whether what we are getting is anywhere close to or similar to what they are asking for, right? Next question. We have a function fx which is given by minus a to the power of x plus b, okay? Then we have another function y which is equal to f of x minus 12, and that function has a y-intercept of 0, minus 75 over 7, right? A and b are constants, and the product of a and b is equal to 320 over 7. So a lot of information is given here, and that is primarily to confuse the students in the given information itself, right? And with all this given information, we have to find the value of a, correct? Now if we look at this question, the way they have given the product of a times b is 320 over 7, and they are asking us to find the value of a, right? logically we would think that, okay, there would be a way for us to find the value of b. Once we get the value of b, we can find the value of a, right? Let's see. So this function y has a y-intercept of 0, minus 75 over 7, okay? And this function y is nothing but fx minus 12. The definition of fx is given is here. So we can say y is equal to minus a to the power of x plus b minus 12, right? Because y is nothing but fx minus 12. Now when the y-intercept is given, we can plug the values of the x and the y coordinate of the y-intercept and see what we get. So y is minus 75 over 7 is equal to minus a to the power of 0 plus b minus 12, right? A to the power of 0 is 1. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. So this becomes minus 1 minus 12 is minus 13. So this becomes b minus 13. Correct? We can obviously get 13 to this side and find the value of b. So b is equal to 13 minus 75 over 7, which comes out to be 16 over 7. So basically with this given information, we are able to find the value of b. Once we know the value of b, we can plug it in here and solve for a. A times 16 over 7 is equal to 320 over 7, which gives us a is equal to 20. So the value of a is 20. Again, just to quickly reiterate, there was a lot of information given in the question just to confuse students, but it's as simple as that the function y is this, the y-intercept is given. Once you plug in those coordinates of the y-intercept here, you get the value of b directly because a goes away. A to the power of 0 is 1. Once you get the value of b, you plug in here to get the value of a, which comes out to be 20 in this case. Question number 3. A museum charges $21 for the first 25 people. After that, it charges $14. So after the first 25 people, whoever more people go into the museum, they are charged $14 and not $21. Find the right expression for the total charges. So basically, we have to identify the right expression or the right function fn, where n is the number of people, right? Where n is the total number of people going into the museum and n is greater than or equal to 25, right? So pretty straightforward question, right? So the first 25 people will be charged $21 each. So the total charges for the first 25 people would be 21 times 25, which is 525. Now the catch here is that the moment we get 525, we tend to think of b, right? Without really thinking that what's happening beyond 25. So let's try to write the full expression and see what we get. So let's say that fn is the function of the total charges of all the n people. So 21 times 25 is the charge for the first 25 people, and then for the remaining people, which will be n minus 25, right? The charge is $14 each. So this becomes the total charge for all n people. Let's solve it. We get 525 plus 14n minus 350. Correct? And then when we solve this, we get 14n plus 175. So this is the expression of the total charges of n people entering into the museum. Again, pretty straightforward. 21 times 25 for the first 25 people, and the remaining one would be n minus 25 because 25 are already accounted for here, and their charges are $14 each, and then we expand and we get 14n plus 175. So in this case, A is the right answer. Question number 4. So we are given these two linear equations, right, in a jumbled form, and there is no solution to these equations. right? And we have to find the value of p, which is a constant here. Again, we know that the two straight lines or the two linear equations will have no solution when they are parallel, right? And they will be parallel when their slopes are same. So essentially what we got to do is to find the slope of this first line, find the slope of this second line, and then equate both of them. And as we can see here, this p will play part in the slope of the second line. Okay. Anyways, so let's suppose this is our equation 1 and this is our equation 2. So let's rewrite equation 1, right? Bring this y to this side, x to this side. So 3 over 2y plus 3 over 2y. So 3 over 2y plus 3 over 2y is equal to 1 over 4x plus 2 over 3, correct? We're just isolating y on the left side and everything else on the right side. This is nothing but 3y. So 3y is equal to 1 over 4x plus 2 over 3. And then you divide both sides by 3. So you get y is equal to 1 over 12x plus 2 over 9. So this is the slope. So 1 over 12 is the slope of the first line, right? Let's do the same thing for line number 2. For line number 2, again, I am not bothered about the constants here. I am only interested in the slope. My py is here and 1 over 2x is here. So if I divide by p on both sides, I will get the slope directly, correct? I don't need to bother about these numbers for a moment because I'm only interested in getting the slope. So y is equal to 1 over 2px plus something, correct? I'm not bothered about this. I'm only interested in slope. So the slope is 1 over 2p. Now if these two lines have no solution, then these two slopes have to be the same. They have to be parallel, right? So 1 over 2p is equal to 1 over 12, which gives us p is equal to 6. Again, it's a pretty straightforward question, just given in a little bit of a jumbled form. All we got to do is to find the slope of the first line, find the slope of the second line, equate both of them, and that helps us to get the value of p, which is 6. Question number 5. So in this they have given us a table, a kind of a relation between x and y. There is given us 3 points, and they're saying y is equal to fx plus 4, right? So there is some function fx which is related to y as y is equal to fx plus 4. Function fx is quadratic. Now if function fx is quadratic, obviously function y will also be quadratic, right? And with this given information, we have to find the y-intercept of fx, correct? So we have to find the y-intercept of fx. Essentially, we need to find fx. And fx is given as in terms of y. So from here, we can say that fx is equal to y minus 4, correct? If we get to know this function y, we can just get fx, and once we get fx, we can find the y-intercept by putting x equal to 0, because y-intercept of any function is nothing but the value of y when x is 0. So essentially our whole thing is to find this y, right? Because once we find y, we find fx. Once we have fx, we can find the y-intercept of fx, right? Now if we look at these points, what do we see? If we look at them a bit closely, right? For the value of x21, we have y is minus 8, so 21. And if we notice, we have these x values are equidistant from each other. So this is 21, this is 23, and this is 25, right? For x21, we have y is negative 8, right? For x23, we have y 8. And for x25, we again have y is negative 8. So it looks like this, correct? Now if we notice, right, these 2 points are equidistant from this point 23, having the same values of y. It means that this function, this y function or this quadratic function is symmetrical along this axis. What it means is that this is nothing but the vertex. So this point 23,8 is nothing but the vertex. Because this parabolic function is symmetrical around this point. Once we know the vertex, we can find we can try to write the equation of y in terms of the vertex form. So what is the vertex form? Y is equal to a x minus h whole square plus k, right? And we know that the vertex is this. So y is equal to a x minus 23 whole square plus 8. Correct? We have other 2 points here as well. We can plug in any of the points in terms of y and x and get the value of a. Let's say we choose this point. So we write minus 8 is equal to a x is 21 minus 23 whole square plus 8. We solve this, we get y is equal to 4a plus 8, which gives us a is equal to -4. Correct? So basically at the end of the day, we are able to get the function of y. So the value of the a is -4, we plug in here, so this becomes our function. So this is our y function. Correct? Now if this is our y function, we can find our fx function because fx is nothing but y minus 4. So fx will be -4 x minus 23 whole square plus 8 minus 4. This is nothing but plus 4. So this is your fx function. You have to find the y-intercept. So plug in x equal to 0 here and solve for the value of y, and you get y is equal to -4 minus 23 whole square plus 4, which gives us a value of -2112. So this is the y-intercept of this function fx. Again, a little bit of an involved question here. Just to reiterate, they gave us the relation between x and y. We have to be a little careful in terms of closely interpreting this table and understanding that this is the vertex. Once we know this is the vertex, we use the vertex form, and then we used any other point to get the value of a. Once we get the value of a, we have the entire y function. Once we have the entire y function, we have the entire fx function, and then we can find the y-intercept of fx. Well, let's take one last question here. 57x square plus 57b plus a times x plus ab is equal to 0. Okay, so that's a quadratic equation they've given to us. And they're also telling us that the product of the roots of this quadratic equation is kab, and in such a situation they want us to find the value of k. Pretty straightforward question. We know that the product of the roots of a quadratic equation is given by c over a, right? In this case it will be ab over 57, right? This is our a, this is our b, and this is our c. If we compare this with the standard quadratic equation, ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So the product of the roots is c over a or ab over 57, which is given as kab. We divide by kb on both sides, we get k is equal to 1 over 57. As simple as that. Obviously, whenever they are asking for the product of the roots of a quadratic equation, we don't need to find the actual roots and then find the product. We can directly use c over a, right? Similarly, the sum of the roots is given by minus b over a. So this one and this one are going to be very handy. Sum is given by minus b over a and product is given by c over a. In this case, we just use c over a because that's what they told us, that the product of the roots is kab. We equated them and get the value of a, k, which came out to be 1 over 57. Hello friends, hope you liked the video and it gave you a good perspective of the kind of questions which we can expect on the digital format. Again, the questions may sound a little tricky in terms of the wordings or in terms of how they are articulated, but if we stay close to our basics and concepts, we can pretty much handle them. Keep practicing. Do like and subscribe, and see you in the next session.